when you sit with Gen Zs, what pains they share with you.
I am in awe of the Gen Z. This generation has come in to break many myths, many dysfunctions that the generations before them were carrying. A lot of the Gen Z people will say, that's it, dude, I'm working till 38 and that's it. I'm off, I'm retiring after that. And you'll be like, what? When everybody else, all my other friends were having fun and traveling the world and doing jobs and making money, I was married at 20. हम सबको वही लेसन सीखने हैं अलग-अलग वक्त पे.
Why is it so? Gen Zs are facing a lot of insecurities in terms of their appearance.
Have you seen boys having hair that comes all the way to their eyes?
Yeah.
Black, very loose clothes. They don't want to show themselves. They are losing their sanity because they are comparing an edited version of somebody's extraordinary day.
You might have heard of situationship, open relationship, where they are not open to commit. What made them to think that way?
The Gen Z has seen more heartbreaks at the age of 18 than we've seen even at 30.
Hi everyone, welcome to Stories That Matter, where conversations aren't just heard, they are felt. I'm your host Aysha, and today's conversation is the one I wanted to have for a very long time. We talk a lot about Gen Z, about their aspirations, their ambitions, their authenticity, their honesty, and their drive. But what we don't talk about is their burnout, the pressure to do everything, the fear of failing, and the constant voice which is telling them that what they are doing is not good enough. There are very few voices who understand this generation, not from a space of judgment, but from a space of wholeness, from a place of empathy, and from the space of love. And that's where today's guest come in. She's one of those rare voices. She's not just an average healer, and she's not an average therapist. And I swear she's probably not from this dimension. Kavyal Sedanni is a renowned psycho-spiritual healer, TEDx speaker, and a leading voice in the space of emotional well-being and health. I am personally a big fan of her, the way she expresses the complicated ideas. If you are a Gen Z or if you're not a Gen Z, you better stay till the end of this episode. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe right now. So without any wait, let's welcome Kavyal Sedanni on our show, Stories That Matter. Thank you, Kavyal. Thank you for coming on Stories That Matter. It's my absolute pleasure to have you today on my show, Stories That Matter. Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Let's start with your untold story of Kavyal, which hasn't been shared yet. Stories That Matter is all about starting with the personal stories of the people who come on this podcast. So I would love to begin this podcast with your untold story of Kavyal, which made you reach here to the place you are now, and the kind of impact you are making to the whole world.
Oh, well, I have spoken about my story a lot, many times on many platforms, but my story is not different from anybody else's. In fact, I think the most extraordinary part about Kavyal Sedanni is that she is in every ordinary girl or boy that is out there. That's why I receive so much love, because everyone tells me that, ma'am, I have had just the kind of life that you have had. And I resonate so much with you. I had the same pain. I had the same trauma. I had, the same epiphanies. So I choose to believe like a little Kavyal Sedanni sitting in their hearts the whole time. And then they like my voice, so they keep a little Kavyal Sedanni here on their shoulder who kind of keeps talking to them. But basically, this is a story of a girl who was very delulu, very delusioned about how life should be. You know, we are all conditioned, especially India में, कि तुमको कुछ नहीं करना, तुम बस अपनी पढ़ाई करो. After that, we are going to get you married, and then somebody else will look after your life, and then you just follow the instruction. And after that, you're not responsible for your life. You're only responsible for your home. You're not responsible for your life. I went with the same belief. So I trained myself to be a very good homemaker, क्योंकि मेरा काम तो उतना ही था. Life तो मेरे husband चलाने वाले थे. As you grow up, you start realizing that, that formula isn't working. And then every belief you have had or you've grown up with is shattering. Every formula is failing. And now you're like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know anything else. I don't know how to navigate life by myself. In fact, 15 years ago, if you had even asked me, or 20 years ago, if you asked me, Kavyal, what do you really want? I'd say, I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe I want two children and, just want to be married. And after that, whatever my husband wants, I guess. But life doesn't work like that. And we have to stop training our girls for marriage. We've got to start training them for life.
True.
And when I started discovering that life is a lot more than my dependence on my husband, that's when things started changing. I had to change the belief system that I can't work, I will never make money, that I'm not good enough, that I will never match up, that I am average, that I'm not important. I had so many of these crappy belief systems, which most women have.
Yeah.
I think the privilege of my journey was just that I was constantly given the courage to break those belief systems and follow my dreams.
And you broke it.
I'm still breaking them one at a time. There are some that I'm still struggling with. Again, I'm very open about them. And there are some which I've managed to break. So I call myself a wounded healer. कि मैं है ना पहले गिरती हूँ, जोरदार गिरती हूँ. और सारे मेरे जब टुकड़े हो जाते हैं, जब मैं उनको वक्त लेके उनको समेटती हूँ, फिर मैं दवाई लेके वापस आपके पास आती हूँ. That okay, this was how I was broken. And because you're watching me, this is how I put myself together. And I am put together now differently.
Yeah.
So maybe you can too.
Kavyal, if you had to introduce yourself without your occupation, without your profession, without your age, without your race, religion, where you come from, how would you describe yourself to our listeners on Stories That Matter without all these superficial markers?
Well, I'd say I'm a very ordinary soul who is possibly here to bring back authenticity, sensitivity, empathy, love, and hope.
Beautiful.
These 5 words is that's the foundation of my personality. I would like to pass on a message that by all means, please embrace failure. By all means, please embrace your imperfections. By all means, do not try to be somebody else. And by all means, love who you are without waiting to be perfect. That's the only message I really have. And that's the only message I have been consistently passing. You don't have to be extraordinary, and yet you are extraordinary.
Yeah.
There is nobody else like you, and that's your superpower.
Yeah.
You are the only one like you, and that is your superpower. So why are you trying to be someone else?
Yeah.
If God wanted one perfect being, and if he wanted everyone to be like that, he would have just made 1 million Xerox copies of the same mold, right?
Yeah.
What a boring world that would be. What a boring world that would be.
Embracing our uniqueness.
This conversation is fun because you're different and I'm different, and yet if we have this conversation long enough, we'll realize that damn, we are just the same.
Yeah.
We're just the same. So life seems very long, and yet everybody who has children will understand this, that when they are watching their children's graduation ceremony, you'll be like, what the hell, they were just born yesterday. They were just 5 years old yesterday. When did so much time pass? And before you know, you'd be at the hospital bed and the whole life would have passed you by. But in this small time of life, if you can live with hope, empathy, joy, love, authenticity, imperfection, that would be a life worth celebrating.
Loving your imperfections and embracing your uniqueness. That's very strong.
Just imagine you're in an amusement park. You're in Disney World. You're not going to Disney World to wear the perfect heels and the perfect dress and just take photographs. You're in that amusement park to enjoy the damn rides.
Yeah.
You're in it to be a child. Like, live it. You wait 2 hours in queue for a 1 minute ride and you feel all the sensations in your body until you want to throw up and you still enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Life is just that. It is an amusement park. You have all sorts of experiences here. But instead of living them, we're so busy just trying to capture it. For whom? Who's interested?
Yeah.
Who's interested? Live it.
Yeah.
Don't just collect proof that I lived it, but you never really did.
Very true. I would like to know from your side, when you sit with Gen Zs, what specific pains or words they share with you,
I am in awe of the Gen Z.
or of the Gen Z.
What a generation this is. And it's even more dangerous, after them, the Gen Alpha will come and so sharp, so different. We disapprove of them, but we are actually scared of them because this is a generation which we can't control. We don't know a formula to them. We don't know what ticks them. We don't know what stops them. It's like the COVID variant. Every time we found a cure, there was a new COVID variant that came, and then we just accepted that, like, okay, we just got to deal with this.
Yeah.
But completely in awe of the way that they work. I believe that energetically, this generation has come in to break many myths, many patterns, many dysfunctions that the generations before them were carrying, because they're doing everything different. Everything. They want easy lives. They want comfortable lives. A lot of the Gen Z people will say, that's it, dude. I'm working till 38 and that's it. I'm off. I'm retiring after that. And you'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Life starts then. You got to work till you're 80. And they'll be like, what for? Why?
Yeah.
So they don't see us as an inspiration anymore, because they have possibly seen their parents work so hard and not have a life at all. They will tell you on your face, क्या लाइफ जी रहे हो आप, मतलब या तो स्ट्रेस है, ऑफिस है, ना आप हमारे साथ फैमिली में रह पाते हो, ना वेकेशन कर पाते हो. I don't want the life that you want. I don't want to work like that. And we feel like, no, you should do better, because we gave you the most expensive education. We gave you a home. We didn't have this. This is a classic line in every family. जब हम छोटे थे, तब. And they're like, oh God, there they go again.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear this. जब हम छोटे थे और अगर हमारे पास भी मोबाइल फ़ोन, इंटरनेट, गूगल सब रहता, तो हम भी वैसे ही होते जैसे ये हैं. And our generation, the millennials, we are trying to give our children everything that we didn't get. So now they have nothing to fight for. We didn't get the freedom. We fought for the freedom. We didn't get money and pocket money. We had to work for the pocket money. We want to give we've promised it. The minute the child is born, we say, Beta, I'm going to give you everything I didn't have. So now you want to give them a room to themselves. Now you want to give them pocket money. You want to give them a car. You want to give them luxury. You want to give them the best education without them working for it. And then you say, why don't you work hard? And they'll be like, dude, why? When I get everything so easy, why will I work hard? Plus, our generation was very focused on collecting knowledge and trying to remember it. For them, it's on a fingertip. So what they are going to learn is going to be completely different. Honestly, I don't know how their education is going to pan out. I don't know what kind of careers they're going to have in the next 10, 15, 20 years or 40 years. Everything that we have taught them is possibly going to be null and void, because our formulas are not going to be worthy to them anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a generation that we really need to watch out for and learn from them instead of judge them. But yes, they have tremendous amount of insecurities, tremendous amount of anxieties, because they are growing up in an unreal world. They can't see themselves normally because they see themselves through a filter the whole time. There is a humongous pressure to be perfect because now you are the product. For them, if they are not extraordinary in their head, they don't deserve to exist. Because if you are just normal, plain Jane, mediocre, you should not be here. What are you even doing here? You have to have an edge. So, unfortunately, this generation is not really able to be themselves. They are constantly under the pressure of being perfect. They're being performers. Everywhere they're just supposed to perform. And if they're not performing, they don't want to show their face. Have you seen children, boys having hair that comes all the way to their eyes?
Yeah.
Black hoodies, black caps, black very loose clothes. They don't want to show themselves. They only want to show themselves when they think they've achieved something. And then they want to achieve everything fast. I have so many children coming to me who feel like at 25, they feel like, I don't have my startup yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a failure. I'm 25 already. I'm not making money yet. We didn't know our ankle from our elbow at 25.
Yeah.
We were still figuring out.
True.
We were the ones that waited for a government job that gave us stability. They don't want stability. They want adventure. They want variety. They want newness, and they want it quick. Everything should have happened yesterday.
Yeah.
If we wanted to eat a meal, we had to go to the market, buy the vegetables, buy the ingredients, sit, chop, clean, cook. It would possibly be a half-day process. For them, it's a button on the phone. So they don't have the muscle of patience. They don't have the idea of what it is to wait for something. And that is killing. That's unreal.
Kids age 10 years, 15 years have their own companies. They're
Yes.
earning money. And that's where I believe that insecurity of non-performers is stemming from. Like, they want to, like, at age of 25, if they haven't done anything significant in their life, it makes them feel like, and they want to hide behind.
Yes.
And that's something. And I feel like they should not think that way.
Yeah.
Like, as you said before, everyone has their own time and the pace they need to work on.
I think for this generation, the need of instant gratification is their worst enemy. That you wanted everything done yesterday. You want everything now. That is your worst enemy. You will have to, if you need to really build a good body, you need to work at the gym and eat right, sleep right for years.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just, you can't just wear a bodysuit and say, look, I'm looking so cool. That's fake. Anything that is fake or anything that has come up like this will also drop like that. So if you want to build something sustainable, you have to work on delayed gratification. If every parent could teach their child this, that what are you doing that's going to give you delayed gratification? Like, what are you working on today that's going to give you results in 90 days? And every single day you map yourself and say, okay, I'm working towards that. That's going to come up after 90 days. That is something we desperately, desperately need to be trained from. Plus, this generation they're living in a space where their attention span is 15 seconds. It's just 15 seconds. So they're not able to enjoy life fully because they're not present fully. Imagine that if you are reading a book and every 30 seconds, someone comes and taps on your shoulder and you have to go somewhere. You start reading again. Every 30 seconds, tap on your shoulder. You go somewhere, you come back. Are you really going to enjoy that book?
No.
You can't because you're not immersed in it. Okay, there's just like, oh yeah, I read that. Yeah, what was that about, bro? I was boring. Because you couldn't experience it. For us. When we didn't have the internet and we read a book, we could escape into that alternative reality and parallel world in that book. We became heroes and heroines of that particular chapter, right? They don't have that advantage. So it's a lost skill. I remember going to Vipassana, which is an intensive meditative practice where 10 days you're just meditating. There's no distraction. There's no people, no communication, no reading, writing, no talking, nothing. And it took me 6 days just to be able to sit still for 20 minutes without moving. 6 days. It was difficult. And I realized how restless my body was and how easily I got bored. Mentally, I was prepared that, yes, I'm going to do this for 10 days. By the second day, I'm like, okay, yeah, I understood this concept. Now, what next?
Yeah.
But sitting through it, painful experience because all my old emotions, all my old memories, everything kind of came gushing up. It was, like a catharsis happening. By the 7th day of that 10-day retreat, I came up with such brilliant ideas that it changed the whole trajectory of my career. Everything that is working very, very well for me now happened on the 7th day of me being still without distraction. I went from point A to point X, or I went, let's say, from a 2 to a 22 because of those 7 days of stillness. And imagine this generation can't sit still for 15 seconds.
The world they are living in with constant connectivity to social media, instant gratification, mindless scrolling.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good thought that you have shared that, one thing which we need to teach these Gen Z kids is more towards stillness.
Yeah.
They need to learn how to still their mind and have that calmness, stillness, and just be there in the moment and make your own experiences.
And also, we won't be able to teach them this by talking to them because they don't listen to us. This generation is always with their headphones. Have you seen them? That they're always with their headphones. They're never listening. We will have to display it. And even our generation right now, all of our work is happening on the phone. So we are always on the phones, either entertaining ourselves or working. So we are a bad example of being still. But even if the Gen Z can practice one thing, that one task or one discipline, even if that is you going for a run, or that is you meditating for 5 minutes, or that's you reading the chapter of a book every time when you wake up, or even drinking 1 liter of water after you wake up, do one task before you touch your phone, before you get into that world. Because the minute you get into that world, anything that requires discipline is not going to happen so easy. So even if that is 20 minutes of your starting day, touch your phone after 20, do something consistently before those sacred 20 minutes.
Sacred.
Yeah.
Any sacred ritual which you can share with them, which can help them?
I think they're already, telling the Gen Zs anything now is like giving a fish a bath.
So it's more of showing
They
them.
already have so much knowledge about everything. So possibly a Gen Z watching is going to say, oh my God, auntie started again, kind of a thing. But writing a gratitude journal or, just getting as many hugs as they can from their family
So sweet.
would really make a huge difference. There's something about this generation that they don't like being hugged. They're so awkward when their moms are coming to hug them. Bring those hugs back, guys, because touch from the right person who really, truly loves you, your parents, that is medicine in itself. So give yourself the hug therapy and then write down things that you're grateful for, even though you may feel, what a boring day, nothing to be grateful. It's not about the day always being exciting. It's about the fact that I am healthy, I have woken up, everyone I love is alive and awake with me, I have my education, I have this, and I'm meeting a friend, blah, blah, blah. Because the Gen Z is very prone to going in a downward spiral of negativity very quickly. One thing going wrong and they will crash. Okay? So if you have a constant practice of writing down 5 amazing things every day, and imagine you've got books and books and books of how every single day you've had 5 things to be grateful for, the brain is now wired to look for the positive. So when you're having a bad day, you will sulk and you'll be like, what the hell? You'll be angry at God. But then you look back and say, my God, I've got 16 books of amazing things that have happened to me every single day. You can't stay in that crash. You can't stay in that depression. You will go in and you'll come out quickly because your brain is like, okay, look for the 5 good things today. So keep the hugs going and write a gratitude journal. That'll help.
We need to show them. I think that's more important, to set that standards in front of them. Will make a difference in their life. Maybe they'll start listening and believing us. Yeah. Gen Zs are facing a lot of insecurities in terms of their appearance. Are they looking right on socials? Are they using the right filters? Are they matching to the standards of the society, their peers? They have a lot of insecurities in terms of how they look, how they dress up, how they show up to the world, how to deal with such kind of bodies, low self-esteem and low self-image issues.
See, we all had insecurities. We were all compared, even in our generation, but we were compared to our neighbor, our cousins, our friends, right? She's thinner than you, she's fairer than you, kind of a thing. But social media has just industrialized the whole thing. Now the comparison is no more with 2 people. Now it's with 2 million people around you.
Yeah.
The problem is not that the Gen Z likes their filters and uses their filters. I have a favorite filter too. But the Gen Z confuses that filtered version to be the normal, to be the baseline.
Yeah.
So when they see themselves without a filter, they're shocked. They're appalled. They're like, I don't like myself, which means I have to constantly look like the filtered version of myself. Might as well get surgery and get the filtered version to be on me permanently. If you don't like yourself anymore, your natural self, it's like your enemy is living inside your own body. You are living with someone you don't like. You are living with someone you hate. You're living with someone you judge. How difficult is that? That is so difficult. That is brutal.
True.
But what you are seeing on screen on a filter is not real. They are losing their sanity because they are comparing an edited version of somebody's extraordinary day, which has been put up on stories, to their normal everyday life and feeling like my life is rubbish. They watch porn and they expect that their normal sexual relationships should be like what they watched. There's dissatisfaction over there. They watch 15, 16-year-olds go to Shark Tank and have a brilliant business idea, and now they are no longer satisfied with the job that they are going to get when they are 22 or 23, or the internship that they are going to get when they are 17 or 18. It's ruthless. It's so important for us to see the normal world around us and come back to being normal. That this is normal. Yes, you can have your filtered moments from time to time. That was supposed to be for fun, remember?
Yeah.
That was not normal.
Yeah.
But you've made that your normal. It can't be.
They need to understand the
It
normal.
just can't be.
This is the normal.
This is the normal. Imperfections are the normal. Every contestant that I have seen now, if you take a Miss India contest, okay, every contestant that I see, they all look the same. They have the perfect noses.
Yeah.
They have the perfect teeth. They have the perfect body. They have the most perfect eyes, and everyone looks the same. How? How does that? What happened to the originality of our imperfections?
And there is also one challenge which Gen Z faces more towards peer pressure of having a good self-image, like standing out in the group at this age where they haven't figured out who they are, right? That's how they are thinking on those lines. Like, maybe I need to do something to stand out.
Tell me this. If you're going out for a holiday and you're going out to this forest, and one patch of the forest has beautiful, long, tall coconut trees, and there are 500 coconut trees in that patch. There is one tree which is bent and it's growing horizontal. Where are you going to take your picture?
Horizontal one. The one which is
The one that is bent and imperfect and the horizontal one.
perfect.
Because that's the one that stands out.
Stands out. True.
The problem is that the Gen Z wants to stand out,
Yeah.
but they also want to fit in.
Yeah.
One of that will happen.
Yeah.
One of that will happen. You can't stand out and fit in all at the same time.
Yeah.
There will be some places where you will fit in. There'll be some places where you will stand out. There will be times in your life where you will stand out. No one knew me till I was in grade 10th. I was a student of a class which had 80 kids. For 10 years of my life, no one knew I existed. And the same people who bullied me and the same people who laughed at me today want to come up and take a selfie. There is going to be a moment in your life where you will stand out. There are going to be many moments where you just have to be a part of some or the other group to belong. You can't be a star at every single day of your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like that.
It takes time.
Okay to be not standing out. It's okay to be abnormal. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to just be yourself. In fact, I think I've made a career out of it. The reason why people love me so much is because I'm very verbal and vocal about how imperfect I am. I'm very verbal and vocal about the fact that I'm having a horrible day, that I don't know how to deal with this, that I got angry and that I was not okay with that, and now I've become okay with it and laughing at my own journey.
Yeah.
Imagine just me being authentic and honest has made me some sort of a star. There is no other qualification to me.
I
So
think that's what the world needs.
All you need right now is just for you to be yourself.
Yeah.
There can't be anything easier than that. Why are we complicating it?
Yeah. Embrace the way they are. A time will come where they will stand out in the whole world.
Sometimes it takes 10 years for that 1 year that can change your life.
Yeah.
And we have to work those 10 years. We just can't keep waiting that that 1 year will come and it'll change. No, but you have to have worked.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't want to work it.
There are times when they, underestimate or they put the peers, their friends down. They want to show them you are not worthy. You are not good enough. It gives them a sense of self-esteem or respect that they are better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a lot of crab mentality here where they feel like the only way I can climb up is by pulling other people down.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I think that the parents of the Gen Z has been extremely competitive. And that's their belief system, that it's a tough place and you got to make your mark. And we've given you everything to make your mark. So you better be the best.
Yeah.
And we are teaching them a very unhealthy sense of competition. It's the parents that have to set that tone right. We can't blame the Gen Z for being that way.
So that's where it's rooting from.
Yes. Yes, the millennials have a very, very unhealthy sense of needing to compete because it's the survival of the fittest. That's what our parents told us. But if anybody in the Gen Z is listening, I'm telling you, you can be human medicine for your generation right now. You can be human medicine just by being kind. If you can be anything, you want to grow up and be anything, just be kind because your peers need it, your cousins need it, you need it. There is it's not cool anymore to be ruthless and brutal and sarcastic and popular just because you have the courage to put someone else down. Kind is the new cool. So
I like that.
you need it. Otherwise, each one of you in your generation is going to eat up the other. Who's going to be alive to watch the show? See the brutality that there is.
Yeah.
Their trolling is endless. Their jokes are brutal. There's a lack of sensitivity. There are 14, 15, 16-year-olds who are committing suicide because their friend said something. How does a 14, 15-year-old know to say such things that can pull somebody's self-esteem so low? And if your self-esteem is so fragile, the only thing that can also heal your self-esteem is of being service to others. So everyone in the Gen Z, I think the generation will heal itself when they start being kinder.
Yeah, very true. Let's start that together. Kindness is the new cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we should also encourage Gen Z out today, right here on Stories That Matter, that they do an act of kindness with the peers, with the friends, with the society along, and they share with us on their socials with that hashtag, kindness is the new cool.
Yeah.
And they tag you and me, and we will do something around it.
I'd love that.
I would love to see those stories coming out.
Love
that
that.
kindness is the new cool. It really melt my heart to hear that.
Yeah.
Let's work on, and then let's see how much Gen Z post out
Sure.
by doing an act, and they need to show it to us that like what sort of act. It's not that we want them to go out of the way, but a simple kindness act can make a lot of difference in their lives, and they can impact the world in a bigger way. Gen Zs are facing a lot of relationship issues in terms of, having the right partner at the age of 15. They're looking to have the right girl in their life. They want to have a right man in their life. You might have heard of a lot of phrases like situationship, benching, open relationship, where they are not open to commit. What made them to think that way? Like not believing in marriage.
This generation, the Gen Z, has seen more heartbreaks at the age of 18 than we've seen even at 30. Their relationship started when they were 13 and 14 and 15 years old. By the time they're 18, they're on their third breakup. Plus, they have seen generations of relationships. Their parents' relationships not working, dysfunctional. They've seen celebrity relationships breaking up. They've seen influencers having the most perfect proposals and then realizing 1 year later. And they were so invested in the influencer relationships that when the influencers broke up, they felt like, oh my God, it felt
Yeah.
like a personal loss. Like, how could this happen, right? So their trust itself is shaken up majorly. And the fear is not only of heartbreak. The fear is that the heartbreak will happen publicly. It's like a fall, but in front of 1,000 people now, in front of Instagram, in front of all my followers, in front of all of my friends. So they feel like, dude, I want a fair weather partner. Like, okay, we are good till we are good, but I don't want to take responsibility if, you're going through a meltdown. I don't want to take responsibility of, making sure that you're happy and you're okay, because that just seems like too much work. And like I said, they want everything that is instant gratification. So at this point of time, they feel like, well, we are okay to change a partner every year. At least there'll be variety, and at least it'll be fun. At least it'll be light. But who's going to teach you your lessons? The lessons of loyalty, the lessons of commitment, the lessons of stability. I mean, it's great for everybody to want a new meal outside every single day. It appeals to the taste bud, but it plays with your system. That's not what your body wants. Your body wants familiarity. Your mind wants familiarity. You can have a long holiday, but you want to go home. Now, for something to become your home, you have to invest your time, your money, your energy into those walls, into those floorings. You have to keep it clean. You have to maintain it, right? It's the same for a relationship. There has to be one relationship that feels like home.
Yeah.
But a home is sometimes a messy place. It requires time, attention, and maintenance. You can't just be going from one hotel room to the other. Eventually, when you get older, that recipe is disaster.
Yeah.
So training yourself into, instead of looking for the most perfect partner, why don't you train yourself into becoming a good partner for someone else? Like, what do I bring onto the table?
Yeah.
Instead of performing and saying the right lines and looking great and coming across like a catch, instead of that, how about focusing on, does my presence make other people feel better? A good green flag to look for in a relationship is, how do I feel about myself when I'm with this person? Do I feel good about myself? If I feel good about myself, if I feel stable, if my body is relaxed, if I can crack my own jokes, if I can, feel like the world is a good place, you're with the right person.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly feeling drama and internal chaos and butterflies, initially the butterflies feel great. Eventually they just give you panic attacks and anxiety.
Okay.
The butterflies need to settle in a stable relationship. And if you're constantly like, oh my God, I know what my partner's doing, I don't think I can trust them, I need to check my phone, I need to have all of their passwords, you're with the wrong person, buddy. You're with the wrong person.
Yeah.
Because you want to grow in your life. If you have relationships which are so up and down, so tumultuous, you're never going to grow because it's going to absorb you completely. Dramatic relationships are exciting for a while, but you can't grow in the premise of dramatic relationships. You need something that feels like a warm bed,
True.
not always an exciting party.
Yeah. Kavyal, what's that one lie which Gen Z needs to unlearn to live freely out here in this world?
The lie that you are not enough, and the lie that you have to be perfect, and the lie that there is a perfect world out there tomorrow, and a lie that you are deserving only if you have achieved something. There are multiple lies like that. But if you can just beat one lie that you're not good enough, I promise you, you are enough. You are adequate for every situation. You are good enough today, and yet you can get better tomorrow. And if anybody has told you that the world out there is a ruthless place, I'm telling you that the world out there is a very beautiful, kind space as well. But it's also a part of your responsibility to add kindness into it. Sometimes think of the world as a black dot of paint.
Yeah.
If you've got to make that black into white, you will have to keep adding a little white to it all the time. Then it'll become dark gray, lighter gray, very light gray. Then it'll go on to white, right?
Yeah.
If you are seeing the world as a dark place, keep adding the white. Keep adding the light. Keep adding the kindness. And your world around you will become such a kind, happy, joyful, drama-free space that you will love existing in it. You will love what you have created, and maybe that'll be the contribution to the world around you.
Yeah. Beautifully said. One word for Gen Z today.
Incredible, yet confused.
Okay. Okay.
But you guys are incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
very true.
we don't have a full syllabus into you, but you are extraordinary, and you give us a massive inferiority complex. So for all the Gen Zs out there, if there is one thing that would truly make the world a different place, your contribution, it would be this. Become kind, because kind is the new cool. I wish and I hope that each one of you can pick up one act of kindness every single day. Hashtag kind is the new cool. And send us a picture, send us a video of what you've done, and we'll create a campaign of how you can pass on that kindness. Let's start this, please. And it can only start with you. We're waiting for you.
Thanks for coming on Stories That Matter and for sharing beautiful wisdom for Gen Zs. I'm very sure they need to hear the messages you have shared on Stories That Matter.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.